We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for to smash that like button. Tell them when you watch this video, helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. So here we are with the SPY, and we're going to talk about some key levels based off what's going on in the charts, in the bigger picture, and even here within the volatility on the 30-minute. And today, within today's volatility, our SPY bot at 11:25 a.m. sent us out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, call options went up 50 to 90% plus within minutes, guys. This is our new release that allows us to have an edge within the volatility in the markets to maximize on opportunities, whether stocks are going up or going down, and you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, the QQQ bot, and our newly released Tesla bot to receive the edge and clarity that you deserve over the charts within the volatility. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or down, with this edge and clarity over the charts. So here we are with the SPY. We're going to break it all down in today's video, but I do want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. A regular day is 5 to 10%, 10 to 20% is a great day, and a home run is 20% plus, guys. And that's what we strive for every single day, and we're going to jump right into it here with the SPY. So the home run of the day was spectacular, beyond expectations, and if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining you'll become part of a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So these are the two stocks I mentioned this morning. Both of them gave jumps of 3 to 5%, 5 to 10% plus, but one of them turned out to be a home run, and that was NUTX. We caught this one early on in the pre-market before it started to run. It was sitting sideways, got that bull indicator, and jumped up nearly 10% plus, pulled back down towards the bell, had a small 5 to 10% run, pulled back down again, shifted into strength from the dip into the rip, and then it got that bull indicator and gave a highest point of 20% plus, guys, within minutes. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, once again, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY consolidating after hitting a near bottom here of 413, and the last bottom was around 410, right? Not that far from it, just a few dollars away, and now it's just $10 away from that recent low way back here in March and February, right? These are some very interesting levels to see the stock market touch, and the question is, will it hold above it, or are we going to retest it and probably fall below it? So I'm going to pull up Ultimate 42 Vision, the bull and bear indicators, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 Vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, the QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way, so you can receive that clarity and edge over the charts that you deserve within the volatility in the markets, whether stocks are going up or going down. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize within the volatility by receiving that edge and clarity over the charts. So the SPY has been under a bear indicator since yesterday at 426, went to lows here at 413 on the 30-minute, just got a bull indicator, and within the volatility, slightly going in an upward trend. Even after rejecting here at 422, came back down in after hours, trying to push up higher. Now, this has to do with some of the stocks that reported earnings today, such as Meta platforms. We also have PayPal and many others that are slightly pushing up the overall market right now. And we have to see if this can roll over into tomorrow and even Apple's earnings. I think Apple's earnings is going to be huge, and Apple's earnings is coming up later this week, right? And that is going to be tomorrow. So I think that tomorrow will be a very important and interesting point of either us bouncing away from these lows or retesting them and probably breaking through them just because of fear and shaking up over the markets, right? So we're going to have to see that. And the same thing here for the SPY, as I showed there on Apple. Same thing here, the recent lows on the SPY of 412 that we may retest it or break through them, as I showed here with Apple, right? This recent low here of 153. So we have to see in the bigger picture what 42 Vision has been showing since the beginning of the year, and how could that relate to the future or past, right? So 4 hour here, we've been under a bear indicator since 444. I like using this one to see a little bit less volatility and see the bigger picture. And right now we're down here trying to hold up. The last time we broke out of this area, it got a bull indicator pretty quickly both times, right? Right after it got itself out of the 420s, 410s, and broke out to the 430s and continued that upward momentum both times, right? Of bottoming out and forming that slight double bottom effect. This was almost a triple bottom here, and here we are now, right? So we need to see if a bull indicator pops up between tomorrow, the rest of this week, or even the beginning of next week, and tries to pull this up even further to react like it has based off the history of the chart. Is it guaranteed to do the same move? Or if a bull indicator pops up that we're going to rally? No, not at all. But it can give us some perspective of where we stand. Now on the 1 day, every single time we've dipped into these areas, we've hit white with red borders, right? Usually once we hit white with red borders, either there's a consecutive one following it, like it did here, about 4 of those back to back to 5. We had one here, and then now it's our first one that we just touched today. So Apple can either make or break getting out of this and shifting back up to red with green borders, or a continuation of white with red borders. Now, to give you guys some explanation of what 42 Vision is, ultimate 42 Vision is the bull and bear indicators as extra layers of confirmation. But how we see the dips and the rips is white with red borders, transitions back up. If it doesn't complete and it goes back down, that was not strong enough, that was weak. And there's the bear indicator to confirm the weakness and also how things were moving. When we hit white with red borders, that's a dip area. You could see the volatility until it broke out, got the bull indicator, shifted to red with green borders, dark green, and then bright green. Bright green is the end of the transition. Every time we hit white with red borders, anything around that area is the dip area until the next bull indicator and transition starts, and you can see the move there. So right now, based off the 1 day, we are in a dip area that's either going to continue or repeat something similar to history, right? Try to break itself back out to the upside, and what I'm going to be watching for is a bull indicator. Again, doesn't guarantee anything. It just gives us insight within the moves and momentum. Now, the bigger picture has been very important because the 1 week has had us under a bear indicator since January 24th. And I've talked about the 1 day bear indicator from January 7th, right? So back to back within 2 weeks, we knew within these moves that we were in a bearish trend, no matter how much this moved back and forth, because the 1 day held persistent and the 1 week has not changed, even though things have went down, came back up, went back down. And I've stated it time after time after time. And all of January, since the 7th, all of February, I used to tell you guys and share with you guys, based off the history of the chart in the last several years, that once these bear indicators pop up, they last for several weeks and months. Now, you could see here the 2020 crash, how things reacted until the next bull indicator, which is what I'm looking for in the current market condition, right? We want to see a bull indicator pop up here, because once these bull indicators pop up, they've lasted for several months and even upwards to a year and a half, like it did right here from the 2020 crash up to 2022 here at the beginning of the year, and like it did here from 2019 in January to the 2020 in February crash. And then we had other small amounts that happened here that lasted several weeks and months. Now, this has lasted now for about almost 3 months. The last 2 times lasted for about only 2 to 3 months as well. We just haven't hit white with red borders. So it's going to be very interesting if we're going to hit white with red borders, and if we don't and we continue this type of movement and no bull indicator pops up and this bear indicator lasts here and dominates the chart for the next several months, well, the only thing we can compare it to in history is way back here in 2007, right? That lasted all the way to 2009. And then also here in the dot-com bubble, right? In 2000 of September and October, all the way until 2003. That's going to be very interesting and important to keep in mind, because basically this is what we're in. But the only thing different is they actually had white with red borders at that time. Same thing here with the dot-com bubble, but it lasted a little bit longer until it came up. It took almost 5 months. So right now, and it was also kind of a direct downward direction. Right now, we are in such volatility that there is no clear direction. If anything, it's just a bear indicator. We came back up to it. We're going back down. And the question mark is, are we going to find support here to bounce back up? And we're going to get out of this and eventually get a bull indicator. And this is just all volatility, or the beginning of a bigger and larger pullback. And the way I'm looking at that now is tracking the 1 month, and the 1 month has actually been transitioning from bright green with red borders to another one back to back. And what I'm looking for is it going to go into dark green with red borders and get a bear indicator eventually? Because if we go back in history and you look at these charts, they took a while, right? They went straight into red until they finally hit red with white borders, and then same thing here. So we don't have a bear indicator just yet. It's going to take many more months to know. But if we transition from bright green with red borders to such red bars and eventually a bear indicator, that's going to signify even further weakness. And if this goes into white with red borders, it's going to be a very interesting point in its time, because either it can turn out like the 2020 crash, and if it prolongs itself and it's taking too long to find a bottom, it could touch white with red borders several times throughout the year until it finally accelerates and goes down like it did in 2008, 2007, or like it did multiple times in 2001 all the way, well, actually 2000 all the way to 2003. So what I want to share with you guys is, what is my strategy? Well, I'm going to continue to trade my way through the volatility and follow the 5-minute. Now, just because this works for me doesn't mean it works for you. And this is not financial advice. None of my videos or anything that I state in any of my videos is to be taken as financial advice. It's just me sharing my opinions, what I think, and what has actually worked for me. And you can make your own strategy out of it. And I'm just here to share my insight. And this is all for entertainment purposes, right? So the SPY here, I'm actually trading it based off the 5-minute nearly every single day. And that's what our SPY bot sends notifications on to maximize within the volatility. And not only the SPY, but also the QQQ bot, right? And the QQQ itself is one that I'm trading and watching almost every day. Now, some days can be very choppy, and that's when I actually kind of step away. You got to always look at the bigger picture. But from this bear indicator to this next point down here of the bottoming here, that was where the move really was. And today was really choppy in the first 2 hours. And that bull indicator, that gave about 30 to 50% plus. And this bear indicator on the way down, same thing. And then right here, just alone in a few minutes, like I shared earlier in the video, our SPY bot sent out that bull indicator, and on that dip and rip, things took off, right? 50 to 90% plus when those calls actually started to accelerate. So at the end of the day, this volatility is not going anywhere, and having clarity over the charts is going to be that one thing to give me that edge to survive through this volatility. Because one thing I notice, and this is what I'm doing, again, it's not financial advice, holding through this type of volatility, stocks that one does not have high conviction on, is going to cost one money, capital, and time. because even if one does not sell a position when it's losing and you're holding it, right, as an investor, when somebody does not sell, as the saying says, they don't lose until they sell, but you're also losing, it's called opportunity cost, when one is holding a stock that is actually not moving and that capital could be put to work in another investment or opportunity. And this choppy market and any market, having the skill and edge and clarity over the charts, right, with these bull and bear indicators as I use them, and being able to see the dips and the transition into the rips is going to make all the difference to navigate through any choppy market or even a bullish market like we were in the last 2 years, right? That was huge. I mean, throughout all the ups and downs, there was points where things hit extreme weakness. And as soon as it transitioned and got the bull indicator, it was a clear shot up for the next several days and weeks. Same thing here again. Every single time it hit dip areas, you saw those rips. And if it was followed by a bull indicator, even better, right? So this was just a microscopic look of 2020. And then going into 2021, same thing. Every time we hit the dip areas, things ripped. So in a bull market, it's pretty awesome. There's huge opportunities. But in the current market conditions that we're in, whether it's a bull market to become or it's actually the beginning of a bear market, there has been huge opportunities between the dips and the rips as well. A little bit more volatile, but still opportunities to the upside and to the downside. And to receive clarity within the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, the QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and there's many more bots on the way to get connected to the Discord. It sends us direct notifications to give us that edge and clarity within the charts, and you can receive this edge and clarity that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on the opportunities, whether stocks are going up or going down. You can now gain access to these resources and join the members using these resources, receiving that edge and clarity within the volatility to the markets, whether stocks are jumping up, going down, bearish or bullish. No FOMO, no chasing, just focused on what really matters and maximizing within those moves. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make